Well, hello, this is Denise Miller, your Leadership Lady Live, and I am so happy to be finally back with you. It's been a month since we've seen each other, and I've had a lot go on in the month of August. And I'd like to now begin to speak to you about leadership wisdom, leadership and communications wisdom from educators. September is back to school month here in New York City, and so I am going to start with three questions. Is your leadership defined by your actions or your character? Think about that. How does your character and how do your actions inform the way that you lead? Can your actions speak louder than your identity as a leader? Another question that you can think of. Do people say that you're a leader, but you don't really behave as one might expect a leader to behave? Or is the opposite true? Do people not define you professionally as a leader, but are you leading because of your behavior? And then the third is this: if you are an appointed leader, is caring an ingredient of your leadership or is it missing? We're going to dive into today the importance of who you are at your core and how that informs how you lead. We're also going to dive into how what you do and how you behave as a leader points to your character and to your regard for your team members. And we're going to explore how you behave and how that affects your ability to successfully lead or influence the members of your team. As you all know, John Maxwell has been one of my mentors for many years, and for the last 4 years, he has been my mentor up close and personal. And now I even have the photos to prove it. I want to start with his quote, his definition of leadership, and it is this: leadership is influence, nothing more and nothing less. If you are not influencing a team, then you are really not their leader. And if you are influencing a team, even if you have not been appointed as their leader, then guess what? Oh, yes, you are. Let's go into these three quotes. The first is from Francis Hesselbein, who was the former CEO of the Girl Scouts of America. And before I go further, remember, these are the OGs of leadership. So these quotes were made in the 1980s, the 1990s, and in the early 21st century. However, they still hold very true today. And Francis Hesselbein says this: leadership is much less about what you do and much more about who you are. This speaks to your character. Remember, people see your persona, but you're like an iceberg. As one of my mentors, Mark Cole, said on a call I was on this morning, we are like an iceberg. People see the top 10% of us, what we present as our personas, but who we really are is who we are beneath the surface. And so my question to you is, who are you beneath the surface? What do people see? Do those things mesh or are they different? And if they are different, what needs to change to bring them into alignment for you? Now, what I'd like to do is to ask you to think about where you are on your road to leadership. Are you, as John Maxwell describes it, a high road leader, one who really leads with the best of intentions, with the best of actions? Or are you somewhat in the middle of the road and not really sure of your leadership? That is a really important question to answer. And I may have something that will interest you to bring yourself into alignment before this talk is over. The second quote is from James Kouzes, and it almost seems to contradict the quote that I just gave you. And it says this: leadership is not about who you are, it's about what you do. James Kouzes, an educator at Santa Clara University. And as I said, it seems to contradict what Francis Hesselbein says. However, this speaks more to the outside, the identity, the persona, and how you were seen by others, of your title, perhaps. So your leadership really has nothing to do with how you look, how you speak, how you carry yourself. It's really about what you do, how you act, what you do for the people. And the melding of these things, your character and your actions, are again so very important. And we must strive as leaders. And remember, I have been leading for many years in teams of many different industries, and as a volunteer leader, it is really important that your character and your actions align, and that you are doing the right thing as a leader when it comes to the people. And then the final quote is from my mentor, John C. Maxwell, and it's this: people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. In other words, at the end of the day, if you don't have compassion for the people that you lead, if your character is not one of compassion for them, then you don't matter to them. They may do what you say because their paycheck depends on it, but it's not a matter of respect. And one of the things that I have learned as a leader is it is about being respected. As leaders, we must move to gain the respect, maintain and retain the respect of the people that we lead if our organizations are going to be successful. Now, I told you before that I had something that I'd like to offer you, and it's this. I'm going to be offering an open leadership learning circle on John's latest book, High Road Leadership. We're going to be starting at the end of the month, and I would love for you to join us. So please do watch out for the link that I'm going to put in the comments so that you can register. And I would love to see you on so that we can discuss all of the elements of what it takes to be a high road leader. Now, before we go, thank you so much. Once again, it's so wonderful to be back with you. I'm excited about what we're going to do in this last 4 months of the year. And I'd like you to remember to please share this with people you know, who you know I don't know, who can use this content. And please do indicate with either the thumbs up or the heart, depending on the platform, that you approve of my message. Have a wonderful week. Thank you.